very warm welcome to our final night of awards. All good things must come to an end, I guess. But what an end to our awards we have coming up. Something far more exciting, I can tell you, than BGT, that's for sure. Our first award is the eagerly awaited and hotly contended Best Production Award, as voted by our wonderful members and patrons. Yes, folks, it's the big one. Final award is the Lifetime Member Award. It's a very special award that certainly does not get handed out very often. The recipient of this award follows in the footsteps of giants of our theatre community. I'll let our president Trevor Howlett tell you more on this a little later on. So, to our first award, the Gareth Everson Award for Best Production, sponsored by BLT. This award has been named after our very dear friend Gareth, who we sadly lost earlier this year. He was such a wonderful man. His warmth, kindness, mischievous sense of humour and general passion for life were infectious. In the words of his close friend and our secretary Steve Dobson, Gareth was a gentleman, a true friend and the kindest soul I ever knew. Let's look at the nominations.
BLT Best Production, the nominations are Aladdin, Allo Allo, Blue Remembered Hills, The Ruins of Talgarth, Spring and Port Wine, Time to Shine. And the winner is Aladdin.
And now to our final award, the Lifetime Member Award. Without further ado, I'd like to hand over to our President Trevor, El Presidente, who will say a few words about our recipient. You may also recognise a few other familiar faces. So I'll see you on the other side. Over to you, Trev.
Hello everybody, I hope you're all well. The theatre has decided this year to bestow the honour of life membership on one of our theatre family. This person has demonstrated great talent, great commitment and lots of hard work, both with the senior group and YG. So we're very, very happy to bestow life membership on Peter Maidman.
Hello everyone, it's my pleasure to be here to talk to you a little bit about Peter Maidman. Now, Peter Maidman has been a very good friend of mine for a very long time, since she first rocked up here, we think, for a chat with Mary Bennett in 1997. It was a couple of years later that she first appeared on stage here, and her first lead role was as Mrs. Burling in An Inspector Calls. Now, if you know Peter, as many of us do, you'll know that she's a very gentle, thoughtful, kind, sensitive, introspective kind of person. But on stage, she's quite capable of being very, very different indeed. And as Mrs. Burling, she played a poisonous viper of a woman with absolute conviction. I was playing the inspector in the play, and she was vile. She managed to be vile in a very gentle and firm kind of way, but vile she most certainly was. And it was at that point you realised that as far as Peter was concerned, as with most really good actors, you're not just seeing a version of themselves, you're seeing something very, very different, something very crafted. And having worked with Peter performing, directing, and in all sorts of ways over many, many years, She has a wonderful understanding of the craft of acting. She's a natural actor, she's talented, but she works very hard at it, and she understands what's involved in acting, what's involved in building a complex, three-dimensional and interesting characterization. And she does that as a serious task. She takes it on. If what she delivers makes it look as if it comes naturally to her, that's just because she's very, very good at it. But in fact, it's the result of very hard and serious time put into something. She's capable of the most wonderful comedy. I've seen her in many roles in pantomime, in wordy period farce, in knockabout comedy, in modern sophisticated comedy, in broad television comedy, and she does it all with equal aplomb. She's always been very happy to take on a small supportive role. She's sometimes reluctantly taken on lead roles and brought to them something that even she wouldn't have been aware she was capable of at the start, I guess. It's been a joy and a privilege to write for Peta too. She's performed lead roles in a number of things I've written, and I've written a number of parts hoping that she would be the person to perform them when I wrote them. And perhaps as Sylvie in Fancying Sheep, she reached a comedic height, but she brought an intensity and reality to the central role in Ruins of Talgarth, for which I and audiences will always be very grateful. So my mate Peta is a very, very worthy recipient of a life membership at Blackwood Little Theatre for what she's brought on the stage. Beyond what she's brought on the stage, she's just brought enormous hard work and commitment to the theatre. There is no job too menial for Peta to throw herself into it. There's virtually no production that goes on at the theatre that Peta hasn't had an awful lot of work to do at some point in bringing to the stage. And sometimes that might be making coffee, it might be doing the cleaning, it might be wiping kids' noses, but it'll have helped bring a production to the stage. In 2006, she was instrumental in starting the young people's group, the YG, at the theatre. And that's been a work of which she can feel immensely proud. So many people have been brought into a love of theatre directly through her work. And that's something that I know they will feel grateful for their whole lives for. As somebody who's done a lot of work with young people themselves, I know that it's incredibly rewarding, there is enormous fun, but it's also incredibly hard work. And Peta has been tireless in supporting young people and building their interest in theatre and their skills and enjoyment in theatre over those years. So, from me, huge congratulations to Peta Maidman, our newest life member.
And there we have it, folks. A massive congratulations to Peta and all our winners and nominees. I hope you've enjoyed watching these awards. I'm sure you have. Thanks to our organising subcommittee for keeping us all on track and ensuring it all went so smoothly. Thanks also to the man behind the sexy shipping forecast-like voiceovers, our chair Neil, for providing the graphics and editing the videos. I'm sure that last comment will no doubt get cut. Finally, thanks to all our award sponsors for providing the awards. We will ensure that all our winners receive their actual awards when it's safe to do so. And that, as they say, is that. It's been a very different type of awards ceremony, but an enjoyable one nonetheless. We really hope that our next awards ceremony, to be held in another 2 years' time, will be very different again, as in live and in the flesh, so to speak. So please stay safe and take care of each other. Your theatre looks forward to opening its doors to you all again in the new year. In the words of that famous actor, director and part-time politician, hasta la vista.